Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Juliana. If you are new here, you are highly welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you are new here, I would love for you to join this family. On this channel, I create colorful looks, I do swatches, I do reviews of beauty products. Please subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. And for my returning subscribers, I want to thank you for coming back. I want to thank you for supporting me on this channel. I want to thank you for liking my videos, for commenting on my videos. It all goes a long way into getting me out there on YouTube. So today we're going to be talking about Blend Bunny Cosmetics, and we're going to be talking about these two palettes. So I've known of Blend Cosmetics for a long time, but they only had one palette on their website. They had only come, as far as I know, I only know them for one palette, which is the Blends palette, and I wasn't going to pay postage just for the one palette. I mean, from US to UK it's quite pricey, you know, all this shipping cost, so I wasn't prepared to pay for just one palette. So the minute they came out with the second palette, the search palette, I jumped on that website like it was, my button was so quick, so quick. I just jumped and quickly put the two in my cart, and I was so happy that this was in stock. I didn't have to like wait again for the two to be in stock together. And actually my palette shipped the same day, although it was a very slow shipping, but the dispatch, oh my word, I've never seen something like that before. I'm telling you, hours after I paid, they had already dispatched them both palettes. But the shipping, it was like a snail shipping. But whatever the case may be, I am happy to have my palette, and it came to me well wrapped, well packaged. I mean, nothing could have happened to those palettes. I mean, they packaged it so securely. We're gonna be doing a look with this palette, mainly with the Search palette, but I did use one or two shades from the Blend palette, and I also swatched both of the palettes after the demo. And if you like to see how I created this look, then please keep on watching. Okay, my eyes are primed. I'm gonna be digging into mostly the Search palette, but if I need to, I might just go into the original Blend Bunny palette. My color story for today is mostly gonna be greens, orange, and plum. That's what the look I'm going for. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but those are the colors I want to go for today. So for my crease, I'm gonna first go into this shade in the Blends palette, which is called Bailey or Bali. Yeah, well, it's this one. I'm just putting that shade just in my crease, right just underneath my brow bone. So I'm not bringing it lower yet. Alright, for my lower lid, I'm gonna go into these four colors. So this green over here, this one, I think this purple, and then wrap up the outer edge with this darkest purple. I know it's a lot, but I want to try and use as many of these colors as possible. Alright, starting with the green is called Chemistry. I'm gonna put that in my inner tear ducts, just right there. And I'm stopping just here. Next, I'm going into the shade called Alive. And that's just a tiny smidge darker than the first green I laid down. Moving on to the shade called Stay. It's a purple, and I'm placing that next to the green. So this is like a mid-tone purple. There's still a shade darker than this. It's called Corvette, and that's what I'm going to use next. Going back into Alive, I'm going to blend that into the purple. Now finally going back into the darkest purple, which is called Corvette. Okay, that's got a bit of a fallout, so very careful. I'm just wrapping that at my outer corner. So just dabbing it on top of that orange. Now I'm going back into Chemistry. I'm just going to bring that on my upper lid as well, just as I did on my lower lid. Just in the inner corner, and I'm stopping right there. So continuing exactly what I have on my lower lid, I'm going back into Alive, which is the next green, and I'm laying down next to Chemistry with a flat brush. So slightly gently merging it into chemistry in the front because I still want chemistry to show. I'm not taking Alive too high in my crease because I still want that orange to show. So literally tapping it on my lid. And next, going back into Stay, which is the next color I used on my lower lid as well. I'm using a Real Technique random brush. Let me see if there's a name on this actually. No name. I'm trying to be very careful because I think it's kind of bigger than I probably should be using. So just patting that shade down. I'm leaving a little bit of space on the outer edge here that I'm going to put the darker purple, but for now just literally copying what I did on my lower lid. So now going back into Alive, I'm going to gently merge the green and purple together. Back into Stay. Now taking Stay on my lash line and just kind of like dragging it forward like a sort of V, as if I'm using it as a liner, but I'm literally stopping right there. Now going back into that darkest purple covert, I'm using like an angled brush and I'm literally just going to stamp it on the outer edge because I want to avoid fallouts. I'm just stamping it in the empty space on my outer edge. Alright, going back into Bailey, the first shade I used on my crease, I'm gonna just use that to blend out the purple. I know, yeah, it's weird. I probably shouldn't be using purple to blend this out, but that is what I want to use. I'm also using that orange Bailey to blend out everywhere on my crease really, including on top of the green. I want the orange to be really prominent on my crease. And going back into Alive, I'm re-intensifying the green shade. Well, the darker green shade, if you like, because the lightest one is called Chemistry. And right here where the green and the purple meets, I'm using that lighter purple. It's called Stay. I'm using that to blend the green and purple together on my crease. Bringing the orange on my lower lid as well. I'm going to use that to blend my lower lid too. I really am tempted to leave this look and all matte look. I want to use shimmers. I think I'm going to use shimmers, at least in my inner corner, if not anywhere else. Okay, I've decided to use shimmers, and for my shimmers I'm going to use 3 shades. So this green over here, this one on top of that green, and then finally the purple where the purple is. So starting with the green, just going to put down my lower lid. Basically everywhere the green is, including my inner tear duct. Well, I'm going to go over it with the champagne shade as well because I want the inner corner to pop. And I'm stopping the green right here. Then taking it slightly higher than the purple because I'm going to put the purple on the lower bit here. So taking it higher up into my crease. It's actually very silky. I've not wet it, although I did put glitter primer on my lid, but I didn't wet the shade. So putting the green right up here as if to cut my crease, and then stopping right here in the middle. And I'm going to go in with my finger to press the shimmer onto using my smaller finger, because I don't want the green to go over the purple, which is already done, but I can correct that. Right there. So now it's time for the purple. Going in with the purple with a bigger flat brush. I am going to go for the upper bit And then for the smaller part of my lid, I'm going to go for a smaller brush. But for now, just repeating what I have on this other lid. So putting the purple underneath the green. And then just stopping right here, which I'm going to blend with my matte, but stopping the shimmer right there. Now using a smaller brush, I'm then going to apply the purple in the lower part of my lid, just near my lash line. And notice how I'm just stopping right here because I want that green in the inner tear duct. So the purple is literally stopping right here. It's not going anywhere near the innermost part of my lid. And then going with my finger, I'm going to press that purple down. I always press down my shimmers. That is the best way to avoid any cracking. And now finally going into covert and blending the matte into the shimmer. Going in with my Beauty Bay liner, which I just featured in one of my videos, is the purple shade. So I'm just using that in my waterline. But only like on the third part of my waterline. I don't want to bring it anywhere near the green. So just literally where the purple is. And I'm going to go back into the purple and tightline my lid. So the lighter purple and then finally the darker purple on the outer edge. Okay, that's the look done. I'm gonna go apply my lashes and I'll be right back to show you the finished look. Alright guys, this is the completed look, and I'm just gonna show you what I did use. I forgot to put this shade in my inner tear duct, as I said, so I did put that on top of the green right there. And I also used the Colourpop pencil in cat suits right in where the green is, just before the purple I put in my waterline earlier. So I did put that in my inner tear duct in my waterline here. That's what the shade looks like. So that's what that looks like. Okay, I'm just going to bring you in for a closer look. This is what the eyes look like after applying lashes. Alright, it's now time for the swatches, and I'm going to start with the Swatch palette, which is the latest one. So let's remind ourselves that's the Swatch palette, and I'm going to swatch the shimmers first before I then swatch some of the mattes. So this is the shimmer I laid on top of the green again. Alright, the first one is called Flash. This one is called Zip It Up. And the pink is called All Mine. So the pink is like a satin shade. And it's the only satin in the palette. All the other ones are quite metallic. And this is the purple I put on my lid. One of the ones I put on my lid. And it's called Euphoric. That's what that looks like. This is underneath. I never used this one today. I cannot wait to have that all over my lids. And for the last shimmer, Limitless, which is again one of the one I put on my lid today. Limitless. That is beautiful. They are all beautiful, even including the satin shade. They are all beautiful. Quite metallic, very buttery. Apart from using glitter primer on my lid, I didn't have to wet it. The minute I put the brush in it, it just melted on the brush. It's so beautiful. And look at my fingers, so beautiful shimmers. And for the matte, I'm going to try and swatch the ones I did not use on my lid today. So just to remind ourselves, the colors I used on my lid today, I used that green, this true purple, this I want to say neon green. I'm actually going to swatch this neon green again on my hand just so you can see what it looks like. But I mean, you saw it in my inner corner. It showed up and I didn't use a white base, so I'm gonna not swatch the ones I've already put on my lid, and I really want to go for this area. It's quite dark and mysterious. I'm going to swatch these areas. Next is Locked. I'm building up Locked again. So that's Locked. Juicy. So like a juicy orange. That's Juicy. Maybe, which is like a pink. Intensifying that. So maybe. Okay, now we're going to go into the neon shades at the bottom. Alright, this is Chemistry. That's what I put in my inner corner. What a beautiful, beautiful shade. And next to it is Energy. Imagine that blue and that shimmer blue on top of that matte. Oh, it would be so beautiful. Then we have Pulse, which I'm going to try and squeeze in here. That's Pulse. Oh, beautiful shade as well. It's a toss between purple and pink. Then I'm just going to swatch up here is Charged. So that's Charged. I'm just going to intensify that because it's on my pinky. So that's Charged. So I want to say that's like a toss between peach and pink. This is really neon. Hope you can see that. This is Power. That's Power intensified. And then lastly, Shocked. So beautiful. I'm going to swatch Chemistry beside Shock just so we can see the difference on my skin tone. Alright, swatching Chemistry beside Shock. So it's definitely different. So Chemistry is a green neon, and then Shocked is a green a neon yellow. So they are quite different. So those are all the shades I swatched from the Swatch palette. Beautiful, beautiful palette. I mean, you saw the application. It's so beautiful. I don't even have the words. The way it just kind of like stuck to the lids and just did what it was supposed to do with minimal effort, minimal blending. So beautiful. Okay, and now for the original blends palette. So again, this is what the inside looks like. So I do like the way the color tones are kind of arranged. So you have your greens, your blue with the kind of blending shade there, purples, pink with a bit of orange, and then you have your neutral tones at the bottom. I think it's such a beautiful palette. I've used quite a few of the shades during the week. I've used the greens, the orange, even down here, but I've not had a chance to dig into this part apart from the blue because I used that to kind of darken the green. I can't wait to dig into all of this palette, but no surprise there. It's equally as blendable as the Swatch palette, but I'm just going to swatch a few shades. So this is an all matte one. There's no shimmer in this one, so I'm going to swatch like the shades I know is kind of difficult to formulate, just so we can see what they look like on my skin tone and maybe the lighter ones. I'll just swatch a few shades anyway. Okay, from the first row, these are like the greens, and this is supposed to be like a very light blue. So that one is called Bubble Bath, and it's actually very light. Oh, look at this blue green one. This is absolutely beautiful. And just check that row out. So the first row, so that's 4 out of 6 shades. Next row, that's quite light, I'm not surprised. So going over that again, it's like a mustard yellow. This is like a bright in your face yellow. And then another light blue. These blues are so surprising. The pigment in them is amazing. And then finally the darkest blue in that row. Oh, look at that. That's intensified, and look at my finger. It's got a bit of fallout, this dark blue, so be very careful if you do have that palette or you've just bought it. But look at that, so beautiful. The pigmentation and that darkest blue. And then onto the middle row. So This is the orange next to the one I put in my crease. Oh, look at the lilac. And then finally the darkest purple, I think, in the palette. Onto the first row. That shade is gorgeous. It's not exactly red and it's not exactly orange. It's just, I want to say, like an in-between shade. And then finally another shade of pink. Oh, gorgeous. Look at that. And then onto the final row. Then the final row. This really is a beautiful palette. Don't know if I'll find space on mine. We're gonna try. So this is the next shade. So these are like browns, mainly neutral colors. Gorgeous brown. Then this light, next one is actually very light. Surprised it showed up on my skin tone. Just gonna intensify that. And then lastly is like a grey top. I don't think have I ever even seen this shade before. That is absolutely unique and beautiful. It's that shade. I don't know what to call it. I want to say like a purple grey, but very light, almost cool tone kind of shade. Just gonna intensify that. Look how unique that is. That is absolutely beautiful. Wow. So beautiful. And that's most of the shades in the blends palette swatched. That is so beautiful. Okay, now that I've used the palette, I mean, I've been using it during the week, but now that I've used it on camera, as you saw, my conclusion is the hype is real, and I'm telling you, it is well deserved. These palettes are so beautiful. They would give Viziers a run for their money. That is not a lie, and that's saying a lot. I mean, I have a lot of Viziers. I respect Viziers. I love Vizier mattes. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, Vizier mattes are the best mattes out there in the market, but this would give Vizier mattes a run for their money. They are so blendable. Now I understand where the name comes from. It's so blendable. Beautiful, soft on the eyes. Oh, so beautiful. It was a joy to apply. It's been a joy to apply. I can't wait to try every shade in the palette. Honestly, it's so well deserved. It is not a hype. Palettes are amazing. They are what the hype. I mean, from the Swatch palette, I was so surprised with this neon shade, how it just kind of laid and showed up on my lid without using a white base. I used my normal base, P. Louis Rumo Base 3, and it still showed up. And the shimmers, oh my word, honestly, they are gorgeous. Even the satin one here, oh, they are so metallic. They are not in your face. They are not those ones that you put on your eyes and you have like flakes or fallout all over your lid. They are so buttery. They just stick on top of my glitter primer. No fallout. I didn't have to spray them. You saw. So beautiful. What a beautiful and gorgeous palette. Yeah, I do think that the palette stands out on its own. If you don't want to buy the first one, you don't have to. You can make do with this, but for me, I just couldn't resist the second one, and I think they're a match made in heaven. Honestly, they are so gorgeous together. I couldn't have imagined buying just this without this one. And I also think they complement each other. I mean, where you have dark shades in here, the lighter shade are in the original blends one to blend it out. I mean, if you look at the look, you've got shades that are here but not there, and shades that are here and not in the Swatch palette. So I think they complement each other so nicely. I mean, this quad here are not in the Swatch palette, so there's quite a few shades in the original palette that are not in the new one. So you definitely won't be duplicating one or the other if you buy two. They are definitely separate. You can get the two without looking like you are repeating shades. As you can see, the tones are so different. So in my opinion, you can definitely get the two. Alright guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed the demo of both palettes and you've enjoyed my swatches. If you have, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I'll see you.